This is short foot progressing to single leg balance with the short foot. So what is the short foot? The short foot exercise is we're basically going to try to make our foot shorter in order to contract the deep muscles. And when you do this, you should feel a contraction in the arch of your foot. Okay, so what we're gonna do first I'd love for you to find a chair or a countertop to do this next to, because you're gonna wanna have this nearby to use as needed in case you need to lift yourself up a little bit with it. Because sometimes this exercise is a little challenging to get the hang of at first, especially if you have really flat feet. The muscles on the inside of your feet tend to be weaker than those with a higher arch, and so it can be more challenging in the beginning to recruit those muscles for this exercise. So having external support helps. Also, take off your shoes and socks, because I really want you to feel the ground beneath your foot. I want you to feel that contact that your foot is making when we try to grab the ground with the arch of our foot. And also I want you to see what's happening at your foot. This is crucial because there are a few things we do not want to happen. And the only way you'll know is if you can see your foot and your ankle. So let's get started. So you're gonna stand in front of your chair or your countertop. Your feet are underneath your hips. You've got great posture as always, and your weight is evenly distributed through each leg. Next, shift most of your weight over onto your right foot. We'll do this exercise on the right foot first. Your left heel's coming off the ground in preparation to eventually be lifted off completely. But before we lift this left leg off the ground, let's focus on this right leg. I'd love for you to have a little bit of a bend in your right knee. And once you have that, next I want you to try to grab the ground with the arch of your foot. So if this is your leg and this is your foot, I want you to grab as much as you can. I know this sounds crazy, but try to grab the ground with the bottom of your foot, with the arch of your foot. And this, I'll add, is not 100% full force maximum contraction. This is going to be enough of a contraction to where you can actually feel it happening in your foot. If you try to grab it with all of your might, like it's the best, most forceful contraction you've ever made in your life, that is going to be overdoing it. So I just want you to grab the ground with the arch of your foot. We've still got that soft bend, a slight bend in the right knee. And once you feel like something's happening in the arch of the foot, you should feel a little contraction there. Hold that, and I want you to try and lift this left leg up off the ground. So still keep the soft bend in the knee, still keep grabbing the ground with the arch of the foot. This is where if you feel it kind of coming in and out a little bit, maybe you can use your chair or your countertop to maybe push down on it a little bit, maybe a little bit of a lifting up of yourself. You can also try to squeeze your right buttock, believe it or not. Squeeze the right buttock a little bit, and maybe that'll help you feel a little bit more of that contraction in the arch of the foot. And then go ahead and relax. This can be challenging. If you don't get it at first, don't worry, just keep practicing. Sometimes, you have to leave this opposite leg down on the ground a little bit. Maybe 95% of your weight has been shifted over onto the right foot. You've got a little bend in the knee. You've done your best to grab the ground with the arch of the foot, but 5% of your weight still remains on the ground with your left leg. That's okay. Maybe tomorrow when you do this, or the next week, you're able to lift that leg off the ground and you can feel a stronger contraction in the arch of the foot. Let's talk about what we don't want to see. Well, let's talk about what we do want to see first. So when you're doing the short foot exercise, you really aren't seeing much happen at the foot. Everything is staying aligned, static. You might see some tendons start to pop up on the top of the foot. They might become more pronounced, but that's about it. Maybe like a slight a slight extra indentation across the toes, but really not much else is happening. You don't want to see your foot curling like a claw. That is not what we want. You also don't want to feel a massive amount of cramping in the calf. So all of these things are just compensatory strategies. They're ways that your body is responding to try to do the thing that you're asking it to do, but it just hasn't figured it out yet. It's not always that you're super weak in your foot. Sometimes it's just motor control. It's just coordination. It's the connection isn't strong yet. It's a new task, and your brain's trying to figure it out, your body's trying to figure it out, and your body's doing funky stuff. But those are things that we don't want to see. So if you see those things, I would relax, reset, and try it again. If you keep noticing that maybe your toes just keep curling, you can try a less intense grab of the ground with the arch of the foot. Maybe you were giving 50% possible effort before when you were trying to grab the ground with the arch of the foot. Try 25% or less. Maybe you put your opposite foot down a little bit. So those are some ways that you can try and get a better contraction of the muscles on the bottom of the foot in the arch when you're doing the short foot. So that's the short foot. Give it a try. Once you have done, let's say, a set of 10 repetitions, holding each one for about 10 seconds or so, and it feels pretty easy, like you're feeling the contraction, you're feeling a tightening in the arch of the foot, you're not having to keep your leg on the ground, you can lift it up, everything feels solid, then I would challenge you to progress to performing this in a single leg balance type of manner, meaning we're no longer using this chair. So you'll start with your feet under your hips, great posture. You'll shift most of your weight over onto that right leg or whichever leg you're doing this on. A little bend in the right knee, grab the ground with the arch of the foot and lift that opposite leg up as you try to maintain your balance for, you can begin with 10 seconds, you can begin with 30 seconds, and try and maintain your balance. And once that becomes super easy, try to do it with your eyes closed. I know, there's always another progression, another level. So try it out, short foot first, get the hang of that, and then try short foot with the single leg balance.